Hola y bienvenidos al podcast Héroes Humanimales, héroes locales en el planeta. Yo soy su invitado Manuel Cabrera. Alright, if you guys do not know any Spanish, what I just said is basically hello and welcome to the podcast Humanimals Heroes, local heroes on the globe. I'm your guest, Manuel Cabrera.
Wow, cool. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if it's a stereotype, a cliche, but I think everything sounds sexy in Spanish.
It is funny because in Spanish we say everything sounds sexy in French.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah,
wonder
French
what
is
French
really.
people say.
I don't know. Have you ever met French people outside of Australia? Or
I,
have you been to France?
I've been to France. I've been to Nice, but that
Oh,
was a while
okay, cool.
ago. That was I reckon 15 years ago.
Okay,
But I've met some people from New Caledonia, and they speak French.
okay. I had the experience, or I heard that people from France, they don't really like to speak English, so they avoid it. So they don't really are not comfortable talking in English. I don't know, maybe it's some patriotic stuff.
Yes, I do remember when I went there with my family, we struggled because in France, people were not very kind to other people that were speaking English.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, come on. Why are you so patriotic? I mean, it's just a language. We have
Yes.
to communicate to understand each other. So, but yeah, thank you very much for the really lovely and sexy sounding introduction. But you're not from Spain. You're currently living in Brisbane, Australia, the land from down under. How are you, mate?
G'day, mate. Oh, yeah, crikey.
Yeah, yo, mate.
That's
I
a
really,
terrible Australian accent. Sorry.
I really missed this really thick Australian accent. Oh, mate, how you going? They really, I don't know, they don't speak out the letters really clearly. It's like roundish. Like, hi, mate, how are you going? It's like, yeah, it's a snake over there. Don't get bitten.
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah. Yeah, they speak something like that. And sometimes they, oh, yeah, mate. Oh, yeah, no. Like with, yeah, I don't know. It is very hard to explain.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I absolutely love it here. I'm very happy to be here in Australia.
yeah, cool. Yes, you're living in Australia. We studied at the same university. I got to know you. We had like the same unit. We have the same course at Queensland University of Technology, and yeah, just let our listeners know who is Manuel, what does he do, and yeah.
Rightio. So, well, my name is Manuel. I am from Venezuela. That's in South America. And I grew up in the capital city of Caracas. Essentially, I studied in a high school musical. Sorry, a high school. Yeah, no, a musical high school. That's what I meant to
Musical.
say. A musical high school. So it's
I don't remember you seeing in the movie.
well, look, it was a musical high school, meaning that to study there, it was very, very encouraged to learn to play an instrument. So ever since I was 8 years old till I was 18, I played the viola, which is kind of like a bigger violin.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, it was very good. Funnily enough, there was I believe that people that used to play instruments in the same school against people that did not play any instruments. The people that play instruments actually performed better with grades, even that they had more extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
And mind you, yeah, it was always true. No idea
So
why.
have you been like forced to play an instrument, or was it something you really liked and it was really a hobby?
It was kind of like forced at the beginning. Yeah. The thing is that yeah, no, my parents said you have to play an instrument, and I was like 8 years old. So what do you want to play? I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, viola. No idea.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I played in an orchestra, and then I
Oh.
got kicked out of the orchestra because I wasn't good enough. But I got reinstated to a special orchestra, which was an orchestra that was specialized in South American music, but with instruments
Okay.
like a violin, viola, cello, and it was amazing. I absolutely love playing music there, and that's why when you asked me, I was hesitant because at the beginning playing classical music, I wasn't like the biggest fan, but
Mm.
playing this South American music like salsa, using these classic instruments, it was such a great experience, and it was so
Yeah.
unique that I absolutely loved it.
So you mixed like the typical Middle European music with the South American style.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll play like South American, popular South American songs
Yeah.
using a violin, a viola, cello,
Yeah.
and some South American instruments as well.
But besides being the Mozart of this century, you are you're actually an engineer. So how did you end up being an engineer? That would be really awesome to hear.
Yes, that's right. Actually, when I was about to graduate from high school, I had no idea what to do. So what I did is that I asked my parents, like, "Hey, look, I need some help. I would like to have more information of what I should study." So I asked them to essentially make me a aptitudinal test. I think that's how you say it. Well, it was kind of like a personality test to know
Mm.
which career you should study. Yeah, so that was very hectic. The tests lasted for at least 3 days.
Wow.
I took an IQ test. I took a billion types of tests, and in the end, they literally said to me, "Well, you know what? You shouldn't study engineering."
Wow. Cool.
Yes, yes, but they did say, but is just because your interest is not in such technical stuff. Your interest is more about managing people and talking to people and looking at the big picture. So
Mm.
if you're going to
Yeah.
study engineering, you should study something that is more about dealing with people and managing people, which
Yeah.
is why I decided to choose to study production engineering back in Venezuela.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
because of
Cool.
the economical situation and the
Yeah.
political situation in Venezuela, my parents forced me to essentially move to either United States or Australia
Mm.
to finish my studies.
Um, how like your parents still are living in Venezuela, or
No. So the reason why they asked me either, hey, do you want to go to? Well, do you have to decide Australia or America? Was because in Australia, my sister already had a house there and she was stable. My older sister, the oldest one, sorry, she also lived in America because she married an American person.
Mm.
And that's the whole reason. And once I left Venezuela, my parents just said, you know what, there's no point staying here. So they just left and they moved
Ah, okay.
to United States.
Ah, okay. So your oldest sister and your parents are living in the States.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
They
cool.
actually created a school.
Ah, so
Yeah.
they are teachers.
Yes, yeah. My sister is a teacher. My dad is a civil engineer slash architect slash a bunch of things. He knows how to do everything.
Okay,
Yeah, he
cool.
because he
So,
also teaches karate. He's a black belt sensei. He
oh,
also gives scuba diving classes. Yeah, he is. I admire him so much.
don't mess with Mr. Cabrera.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Look, I seen one time they tried to rob him. He noticed the guy didn't have a gun, and he just punched him till he knocked him out. Yeah,
Wow.
it was very scary. But yeah, no, I decided to go to Australia and study at QUT, mainly because I thought the lifestyle of Australia was a bit more in line with what I wanted. I
Mm,
thought that the American life was very centric in materialism and being better than the other person.
mm, mm.
And even that I never visited Australia before, I
Yeah,
always saw Australia as a very relaxed and chill country where
yeah,
there are a lot of surfers and saying, "Hey, mate."
yeah. It's like Austria has something this relaxed, like relaxed behavior of people. Somehow, like the South American people, I think South American people are enjoying life, are enjoying food, life in general, like Australians do. I think, or is it a
Yeah,
cliche? I don't know. So I don't want to be I don't want to sound like an idiot without knowledge about. So yeah.
what I have learned so far is that there is every type of person. Like there will be people that are very relaxed. Yeah, there will be people that are very organized. I always thought that people from Germany were very organized and very tidy and very strict with deadlines and stuff. But I have met
Yeah,
German people that are nothing like that, and they're very relaxed.
I can I can give you a bigger example. Just if you ever come to Germany, just go into a public transportation. You will see. Oh my goodness, where's the German punctuality?
Mind you, I went to Stuttgart and
Ah,
Berlin.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there, and I was amazed by the punctuality. I Something
Really?
that I
Okay.
remember in Stuttgart is that we were waiting for a train for a bus that was going to arrive, let's say at 9:32. It was 9:30, and the bus was already there, but it wasn't in this stopping bay. It was like a little bit behind because it wasn't the time just yet. I remember that like I was like amazed. But of course, again, we're comparing to when I was living in Venezuela, which
Mm.
Venezuela is a country where there is no timetable. You just wait there and hope the bus passes.
Okay. So how did you what was your like you said like once the American way of life didn't really suit you, and that's why you moved to Australia. But after moving to Australia, like the process of moving to Australia, you did you know that you would study production engineering, or did you do the decision after you've been to Australia?
No, so I had to decide. Well, the other reason why I chose Australia is because if you study in Australia, it's more likely that you get the permanent residency and the citizenship,
Mm.
or it's easier than in America. In America, you have to you depend on the company that you're working for and a sponsorship. But yeah, look, I started to look at universities in Australia, mainly in Queensland because that's where my sister used to live, and I saw a lot of options, and I saw a career called process engineering, and I said, "Ah, process engineering, very similar to production engineering." And it seems that it's a bit focused on chemistry, but you know what? I'm gonna take it, and I am gonna do a minor in management and another minor in manufacturing because that's the path I want to follow. And I was very surprised when I got here and realized that Australia does not manufacture anything. So, well, or almost nothing, does not manufacture essentially. So yeah, I studied at QUT in Brisbane, and then as soon as I graduated, I moved to the middle of nowhere to work in the mining industry.
Yeah, I heard that people like work in the really like remote places in Australia. They really earn money, but they can't spend it because there's literally nothing. So, how was the time back then in this land of nowhere, place of nowhere? Like, how long did you stay there, and how was it?
I lived in two regional towns. One of them I lived for a year, and it was essentially 2 hours away from the closest Macca's or McDonald's. Sorry, that's how we call it, McDonald's here in
It's the
Australia.
same here, Mecca's. We know Mecca's here.
Oh,
It's
really?
the
Ah,
same.
there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
And then the second town, I lived there for 2.5 years. Um, yeah, it is funny because I do think that people earn a lot of money, but they do know how to burn it very fast. So you'll see the
Yeah.
miners getting like the latest cars with the latest headlights and the latest bull bars. They'll buy jet skis. They'll drink a lot. There's a culture here in Australia of drinking and smoking
Oh
heavily,
yes.
like heavily
Yeah.
smoking, heavily drinking, and it is very pricey to do that here. So you need a lot of money to do that. And yeah, look, they find ways to waste their money. I can
Mm.
assure you.
So like we talked a lot like we talked last week, but unfortunately because of some silly technical problems. I couldn't record my voice track, so we've been talking like after I've left Australia. We'll still be in contact, and I really liked your way of decision making. So, is it the way your parents like teach you, because they are teachers, are really people who are like academically professionals, I can say that maybe? Or is it like, okay, I have this background, I have to keep up with my parents? Or is it something definitely nothing to do with your parents? It's something on you?
I think it's something on me. So it's more to do with
I
my
want to show them.
personality. No, it's more my personality. I am. I consider myself someone that is quite insecure of my own decisions sometimes. So in order to completely know what is the right decision and not make any assumptions or not leave it out for luck, essentially, what I like to do is get as much information as possible, and when I'm taking a decision. So, for example, I got a new job in Brisbane, and this job was great because it was focused on something that I really like, which is data analytics. And the problem is that this role was paying much less money than the mine site job, because obviously this one is in the city, the other one is in production, and also the job security is a little bit more flimsy, because when you're in production, working in production jobs are very, very secure. Like, even if the company is losing a lot of money, you're one of the last people to get made redundant. But right now in the company I'm working is different because it's a contractor. So that means that if there are not a lot of jobs, it can be a bye bye for you.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it, so I had to weigh out all the options, all the making the maths of how much money I was essentially, I don't want to say wasting, but investing, because my partner used to live here in Brisbane, so I had to fly in and fly out every week.
Okay.
And I had to consider the risks of driving, because I had to drive 4 hours every week to the airport,
Oh, yeah.
and there are a lot of native animals such as kangaroos, which where I definitely they are definitely a risk. You can die. So
So they are not that cute. They can be dangerous. Like us.
yes, look, when I was in Brisbane, I used to love kangaroos. I'll be like, they are the most beautiful thing in the whole world. After living in regional Queensland, I hate them. I cannot stand them at all, because I did hit a kangaroo. I drive a small Toyota Yaris, and
Okay.
when I hit the kangaroo, it essentially destroyed the whole bumper. So
Oh my
yes,
god.
and that was a small one. Sadly, there are a lot of people that have died with kangaroos, because what happens is that when people are driving, the kangaroos will jump towards the car because they're just scared and they just want to attack the car. So they'll go through the windshield and collide with the pilot, with the driver.
Yeah. The kangaroo be like, "This is my fucking road, mate."
Essentially, yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So, but yeah, going back to the decision making, there's an excellent website called Wait But Why.
How do you spell it? Wait.
Wait But Why.
Oh, wait, but why? Okay.
I can't remember the name of the author, but that's his Twitter account, his Instagram account, and well, he also has his website. And I read one of his articles that's called "The Things You Have to Think About When You're Choosing a career or a job." And he makes a very, very interesting analysis, and he compares, well, he does not compares, but he recommends that when we are deciding for a job, we have to imagine an octopus of 5 legs, and each of the legs represents something. So one of the legs will represent social, another one will be representing the lifestyle, another one will be representing your own personal goals, and your moral values, and something else. I can't remember all of them. So essentially, what he's asking you to do is that when you're choosing a job, well, before you choose a job, you have to look at this octopus and decide which of the legs is the most important one, which one is the second most important one, and so on. So that's something that I have been applying that I applied when choosing this job, because I realized that in my octopus, one of the most important legs is lifestyle. Lifestyle means that I do not want to live in the middle of nowhere where I have to drive 45 minutes to do groceries,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be closer to my partner at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second one was job security, sadly. And that's why I was so unsure about taking this new job, because obviously job security in the mining job was very high and in this one was very low.
Yeah.
But at the end, I had to decide I realized that regardless, I just wanted to have a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend you to have a read, and your listeners as well.
So wait, but why is
Yes.
the name of the page? Okay. It's kind of the way I thought too, because I wanted a job after working like 7, 8 hours. So put my pencil down on the desk and say goodbye, folks. See you next day. So I don't want to take the job to my house and keep on working on this, because it's really tiring, it's annoying, and you don't really have a lifestyle. I mean, I can understand if like the job requires that for a very specific amount of time,
Mm.
like in the beginning, like your boss says, hey, we have to work like 10 hours a day to keep up, or to make this project work. I would say, okay, that's fine by me. But if it takes like 2 or 3 years of this kind of work, I would say no, it's really tiring, and yeah, it puts you down, you know.
Oh,
So
definitely.
that lifestyle is a really important thing, and that depends as well as on your financial situation. You know, like, are you capable of like don't work, like not working for like 3 months, 4 months, and still looking for a job? Or is it like, okay, I need a job like within a month, as quickly as possible?
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And that's another reason why I chose to change my job. Well, again, I had these two arms or legs, lifestyle and job security, that were quite competitive, or I was quite indecisive on which one was more important for me. But then I had the what I want from the job. So, like I mentioned before, I wanted something that was more involved with data analytics, because it's something that I really enjoy, and that made this new role had a lot to do with data analytics. So, writing scripts with Python, using Tableau to do visualizations. So that helped a lot. But like what I wanted to talk about, but I just got distracted again, is that in production, there's always something to do, always, all the time. There's something always you can do for the plant to make it a little bit better. And there's always a project that you can keep working, and you essentially can be there 24/7. Always have something to do. So I will be working from 6:30 till 5:30
Mm.
every single day. In this new job, for example, they said to me on Friday, I started work at 8:30. Most of the people start at 9, but I'm an early bird. But at 2 o'clock, my boss says, "You know what? Just go home." Normally we leave at 5 or 4:30, but just go home right now, because right now is a very quiet period, and we like to be flexible when it's quiet. Like, if there's no work to do right now, then
We're
that's
still
all
here.
good.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, sure, yeah.
yeah. But they did say, but when the time gets busy, we expect you to put a bit of extra hours, which I'm like, you know what? It's fine, because it's like you said, it's something temporal.
Yeah,
If there's
yeah,
no
right.
job, yeah, that it's good that I can take some time and I can
Yeah,
leave a little bit early. But if
yeah,
there is a lot of work, yes, I also understand that I might have to work an
yeah.
additional hour or two.
But some people are really like really workaholics, you know, like they keep working like 8 to 10, 12 hours a day. Like, for example, in consulting companies where you have to go like visit every customer, every sub companies, like you have to really be, yeah, on the run somehow. So that's really cute, but people love that, you know. I've never really understand it because it takes so much time. I mean, okay, like you get a lot of money. I mean, consulting, especially in IT, but it doesn't worth. It's not worth it, I think.
Well, it reminds me of something that my ex boss said to me. So, again, I was working as the essentially senior process engineer at the plant because I had 2 years of experience there. Well, I had three, counting the year before the my first year in another site, but I already had 2 years of experience in that site. And this new engineer started to work, and she had a personality and a drive that was very different from mine. She definitely had like leadership skills, and she likes to stay instead of 10 hours like me or 11 hours like me, she'll stay 12 or 13 hours, and she'll put a lot of effort in her role. And I started to notice that she was getting a lot of things done, and she even got offered a position that was above me that I
Mm,
did not even want it, but I still got a little bit cranky about it. And even without me saying anything, my boss approached me and said, "Look, Manny, I'll be honest. There's some people that are going to be your bosses, and because of our personality, it'll be just like that. Like they're natural leaders, and some people that are not natural leaders." And that at first she told me that I got cranky. I was like, oh, how
mm.
dare you telling me that? But
I'm a
then I
leader, not
realized,
her.
yeah, I'm a leader. I'm gonna show you, like I showed my parents. No, but
Yeah.
it made me realize that yes, like everyone is different. Everyone has a different drive, and she really wants to be the next plant manager or site manager. And in on my case, it's not like I don't have leadership skills. It's that I do not have any interest in developing a career in the mining industry, in the production, in the production in the wash plant. So that's when I realized, yeah, that's another sign that I should start looking for another job if I'm not interested in getting a promotion
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, but I always think this way because I'm not really interested in leadership as well because it's a lot of work, a lot of stress. You have to manage a lot of people, so you have to get along with thousands of people, or say like thousands of characters, and that's really stressful. And if shit go down, you're the first one who is losing the head.
Yes, yes.
so so
No,
just look at the history, like kings decapitated. So no, I'm good. I don't want to be leader.
and that's
No,
fine. Like everyone has a different personality.
yeah,
I think I would love to be a manager or a supervisor, but in the right industry or in the right
okay,
field. So, like I mentioned, like engineering, I was like, I don't care if I am or I'm not. But
yeah,
now that I'm approaching this data analytics, I'm like, oh yes, I would love to be a
yeah,
product manager. I manage
yeah.
some data scientists, and that's why right now I'm gonna start studying a master's in data analytics. So
Ah, okay, cool. Wow.
very excited
So
about that. Yes.
good luck, and so they like data nowadays, 21st century, the IT, the digitalization of like every single process in the world, like in industry, in the public sector, everywhere. So you have like data everywhere. So it's a really good thing to study, I think. And as I know you, like it's been like 6 years now, I think. Every time we talk, we have like different topics, and that shows how like how you can take knowledge, from everywhere. We can talk really, like, literally about anything. Last week, actually, it was should be like recorded podcast, but it didn't work because of my silliness. We talked about like vegan and vegetarian foods, and we talked about, I don't know, like halal, haram food. We can talk really, literally about anything. So, good luck with the studies. And you're like, do you work currently right now?
Yes, yes. I'm in this new
It's,
job that is with data
this,
analytics.
it's okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I just started. This is like my fourth week.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations. So
Ah,
it's
thank
really
you,
new.
thank you. Yeah, that's
So
why
I
I'm in
just, yeah,
Brisbane.
yeah, okay. Yeah. I think, second of all, like, if you are like, if you work in data field, something in with data, you can work remotely. And Australia is really, really big place. It's a continent. And so you have like, you can work with people from Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, like, it makes it way easier to work.
Definitely. I completely agree. And that's one of the reasons I also got so attracted to it. Because as a process engineer, it's very hard to get a job that is not site based, meaning that you're working at a plant or a mining site. So, yeah, that's another whole another reason. And also because I wanted to be flexible with the industry. I might not
Mm,
want to stay with the mining industry my whole life.
mm,
So, I like to keep my options
yeah.
open, essentially.
Do you plan to go overseas?
Yes, I would love to. I would love to go overseas. Like I've been to a lot of places already.
Yeah.
I've been to Denmark, Sweden, and Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Canada, America,
Wow.
Venezuela,
Nice.
Brazil, Colombia, uh, Curacao. Yeah, I'm forgetting some. Surely Japan.
Oh,
I'm
you've been
forgetting
to
some.
Japan. Oh my
Yes,
goodness. Wow. I
yes,
mean,
yeah.
you are really traveler if you forget places.
Yeah, no, look, definitely, definitely. I do want to go to Germany. Well, not to Germany. Well, yeah, actually Germany because one of my mates is there, and quite possibly next year. I'm between going to Europe or going to the Antarctica. That's a
Wow.
very cool options that I'm considering.
Yeah. Do I know your friend from Germany? Or
No, I don't think so.
like,
I
did
don't think
he study at QT back
no,
then? Ah,
no.
okay.
He's a high school friend. The thing is that
Ah,
because
okay.
most of my friends from high school, we all grew up in Venezuela, and Venezuela's situation was very, not very, it was terrible. We all
Yeah.
spread out around the world. So my best friends from high school, one of them lives in Canada, another lives in America, another one lives in
Wow.
Germany, and another one lives in Argentina.
Where in
So
Germany?
I think it's Stuttgart. I think it's Stuttgart,
Ah, okay.
if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
but yeah. But look, I think you mentioned something you wanted to talk about because I think it's a very interesting topic that is food
Okay, so
and diets.
diets. Yeah, we can do a transition from working, traveling to food. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, you are that person. We can talk about anything. So, yeah, food.
Yeah,
You
so
decided
yeah.
to get vegetarian, no, vegan, right?
Yes,
Or
yes, I am vegan. Yeah,
yeah, okay, wow. South American people love meat actually. They're actually known. I think Argentina for its beef, and I can imagine it was hard for you to do that transition. I mean, to do this, yeah, to decide for this way of life or way of diet.
yes, it was definitely very hard. Essentially, what happened is that I was working in regional Queensland, and nearby there was a crocodile farm. So imagine a place where they literally breed crocodiles for food, for leather, and such things. And I went there and I did not see anything wrong. I was like, oh yeah, they're helping the crocodiles because according to them, they have increased the population of crocodiles by doing crocodile farming. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I had a crocodile steak and a crocodile burrito or wrap.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I even bought a piece of crocodile leather. Like it was like 10 by 10. It was kind of like a
Okay.
square. And then I was speaking to one of my high school mates on a video call, and I show off my new piece of crocodile leather. And one of my mates, he's vegan. So after the call, he called me privately and said, "Hey, mate, look, I think that's pretty bad what you did there." I'm like, "What do you mean? You have a piece of leather of a crocodile. Like, think about it." And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about it. And because at the time, I recently adopted a dog, I was more connected with the animals. So he put me in the perspective, like, imagine if they were doing that with dogs, how would you feel? And that kind of like got into me, and I was like,
Mm.
yeah, that makes sense. And I started doing a bit more research about crocodile farms. Then I started doing research about cows, the way they live, research about pigs, chicken. So I decided to become vegetarian initially. And it was very hard, but it was a transition. So I stopped eating beef I think it was in February. Then I stopped eating chicken in March or April. Then no
Was it a,
fish.
like, direct cut? Okay,
Yeah,
from this day or week on, I'm not going to eat any meat.
yes.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Beef was not too hard for me because I absolutely love cows. They're one of my favorite animals in the whole wide
um,
world.
I, I added this part. I absolutely love cow. Not make it like cancel culture on. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a vegetarian. No,
No,
I'm
no,
just kidding.
that's why I'm saying I love cows. I don't like beef.
That's okay.
So, look, I absolutely
Yeah.
love them. When I'm driving and I see them, I sometimes even stop just to see them up close because I
Mm.
think they're just the cutest animals ever. But anyway, so I didn't have much problem not eating any of beef. And chicken, I did have a bit of a struggle because I really used to like KFC. And fish, I like sushi, but it was okay. So I became vegetarian until another friend of mine that is also vegan asked me, "Oh, do you know much about the dairy industry or the egg industry?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't know anything about it." He's like, "Okay, just watch this documentary made in Australia." So what happens is that I've seen a lot of documentaries about animals, but it was always in America. And I always thought, oh, that's in America where the standards are very low. It's not like here in Australia, which the standards are very high. Yeah, so I watched the documentary Dominion, which is on YouTube, and it showed the horrible things that animals go through, like the fact that to produce milk, cows have to be impregnated every year, and every year they
Mm.
steal their calves, and if there is a male calf, they're just gonna kill him, like just a couple of months old, a month or a couple of days old, maybe weeks old.
Wow. So
Yeah,
early.
yeah. Chicken. Well, right now there's technology where when a chicken lay an egg and it has an embryo. When the chicken hatches, when the chick hatches, if it is a male, it'll be brown, and if it is a yellow, it is a female. So if it is brown, what they'll do is that they'll just grab them and throw them into the macerator so they get killed. So within minutes of being born, they're just being killed. And I started looking at all that, and I just said, I can't be part of this. And I was crying because I could see the animals in pain, and it was horrible. And I started doing a bit more research about it. And I am a Christian, so I started to do research about what does my religion say about this. And I also
Yeah.
started doing research about what other religions say about this.
Yeah.
And that's when I started reading about halal and haram.
Yeah.
So I started reading about that, and it was fascinating. I started reading that, yeah, halal chicken. That's when you essentially do not want to make the animals suffer when they are killed. So
And
they may
yeah,
put a cloth under their eyes and slit their throat instead of
and
yeah, what they
yeah,
normally do, which is a shot in the head, and they can
yeah.
the cow behind the other cow can actually
And they have to
hear.
be on a specific age. They are like there are different schools, and they all agree on a like the animals have to be like healthy, and they have to be like good treated, and they have to be healthy, good treated, and the age is really important. You cannot kill like a newborn baby cow. You know, it's not like that. So
Yes,
yeah.
but the thing is that if you drink milk, then you are kind of being that's not halal in a sense.
Okay.
If you
Why?
think about it, because
Yeah.
let's say that you're drinking milk from a cow that gave
Yeah.
birth to a male cow, a
Yeah.
male calf. So that means that to produce that milk, they had to kill this calf that is just a week, couple of weeks old.
Yeah. They don't kill it so early, I think. They have
Yes,
to be really
yes, because that's how they make veal. Or
real.
well, even
Yeah.
eggs. If you think about it, eggs are not
Yeah.
halal because to produce eggs, they'll have to kill chicks that are minutes old.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that will be haram. And yeah, well,
This is
I'm just
really
saying
interesting. Yeah.
it's a way of thinking. Again, I am a
Yeah.
Christian, so I might be completely wrong. Please do not cancel me, Muslim community. It's just a way of thinking that sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the whole picture and be like, yeah, maybe this is not actually what I was told it is. Because
Yeah.
it's not because I'm not saying like, hey, you are halal, you're doing
Yeah.
eating haram and you knew
Yeah.
about it. No, like most of the people and most of the time, people simply do not know and do not
Yeah.
stop to think about it.
Yeah. There should be in general a new way of thinking of eating food because back then like I'm talking about like 100 years ago the mass of food we have right now they didn't have that back then, you know. If you like ate meat back then you were really rich people ate meat. A lot of people like people who worked as slaves or as really like low middle class people who couldn't afford meat, they ate actually less and a lot of vegetables and fruits.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. And not only that, even if we go even way back when we were hunters and gatherers, our diet consisted mainly of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So meat was something that we will eat once a week.
Yeah.
Because well, and look, even right now it is not sustainable that we keep eating so much meat.
Yeah.
Even look, just to quote a study, out of all the grains and crops that we produce, how much do you reckon goes to human consumption and how much do you reckon goes to animal consumption? So one third, one third goes to human consumption, two thirds goes to animal consumption. So that kind of like trumps the idea that people say, "Oh, we don't have the space to actually make so many crops of soy or
Mm.
legumes and other beans."
Like 60% of the crop worldwide is used for animal food.
Two thirds, so
Two thirds.
66% of the
Yeah.
crops worldwide are used for animal feed.
Okay.
33% is used for human consumption.
So okay, we feed like over 60% of the crops to the animal to get them on our plate.
Yes,
That's really yeah.
unsustainable. It is unsustainable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look, obviously, I do not expect anyone to become vegan because of this. Like, look, for me, I've analyzed everything and I've said this makes the most sense in a moral way. This makes the
Yeah.
most sense in an environmental way and sustainability.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Obviously, there are things that are very hard. So, for
Mm.
example, the vegan diet is not perfect and it's missing its nutrients. So, if you want to eat raw vegan, which is essentially everything natural, you're gonna have a deficit of the important minerals and vitamins such
Yeah.
as B12, vitamin D, iron. So you might have to, if you're a vegan, you might have to start taking supplements, which I have to do because there's
Mhm.
no way I can get B12 from leaves and beans, and also the protein from all these plant-based, well, from all these plants are
Yeah.
not digested as easily as the protein from cows and, well, from meat,
Yeah.
essentially.
Okay. So yeah, I think the key point is the balance. I think
Yes,
people should know the balance, and yeah, it could definitely impact the environment. Definitely, it's really messed up and unstable, as you said. But people have to change. It's in themselves, you know. You cannot like expect people to change from one day to another. It's very hard, as you said. As it was hard for you, I think it's typical human being, you know,
yes.
to human behavior, and yeah, cool.
And I absolutely agree, and that's why I didn't do it one day to another. I started with meat, well, not even meat, with beef, then chicken, then
Yeah,
fish, and
yeah,
then cheese and eggs,
yeah,
which for me it was the hardest part, to be honest. But look, I what I will tell people and listeners is that try to consume less meat once a week or twice a week, and try out vegan food because vegan food is very tasty, it's very healthy. And look, I just took some blood tests. I think it was last week, and then 2 days ago I got the results, and they say that I'm 100% healthy. So
basically, my dear listeners, Manuel is saying you all are murderers. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. um,
murders, all of you. No, I can't. I cannot
uh,
judge that.
no, 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 no. I'm just kidding. I'm just.
Yeah, yeah. Look, like I
Yeah,
said before, most of the time it's because we as humans do not think things through. Like we just assume things because we were taught it was this way, or because our culture said it was this way. When in reality, when we take a step back, it's like, no, it shouldn't be this way. Just like milk, like I said, milk thousands of years ago might have been halal because, yeah, it was not mass produced. It was a person who has had her own or his own cow and who
yeah,
produces his own milk every day, and
yeah,
that's fine. And the little calf will have drink milk out of the cow, and that's normal.
yeah,
But
yeah,
right now in this society where everything is mass produced,
yeah.
it's not quite and does not go. Yeah, it's not good. It's not morally good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I know some of my like Muslim friends, they are vegan. You know, they're they like, as you said, the way they look at the whole picture, they say, "Ah, it can't be good. That this can't be good." So I totally get it. I mean, it's in the one hand, it's a personal decision. In the other
Mm.
hand, people have to look at the whole picture. You know.
Yes. You can't force a view.
Yeah, sure. Very interesting and important topic, and I cannot think what will happen if we keep doing as we like usually. You know, keep
Mm.
producing meat, keep eating, keep consuming. I mean, there are like signs you see, like the seas are like overfished, like, you know. So that's a really big sign, and
Yeah.
yeah. And you shouldn't eat everything what moves. Just leave it there and just let it move. Don't eat it.
That's right. That's right. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, you.
It moves. It must be delicious.
The animal might have feelings like it has a if it has a conscience, like think about the fear that it must go through when it's going through these horrible holes where it's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
And yeah, just think about it, another life. And yeah, you touch fish, and I was gonna say fish is definitely not halal, not at all.
um, I don't know, brother. How
Mainly
do I
because they
protect
when
you
they
from
take.
the Muslim community? I'm sorry.
Nah, you know what?
No,
Again, I'm very
yeah.
generalizing. Please, Muslim community, forgive me. I am
No,
teaching you. I mean, I'm not even teaching. I'm saying things that maybe are completely wrong. So
No, no,
it's just because
you
the way
are.
I see it is that when you pull fish
Mm.
out of the water, they're suffocating. So
Actually, I read an article about that. They scientists did like measure the like with sensors. They put some acidic stuff or salty stuff on the stone in the water, and the fish try like lick it the stone, and they measure the pain, and they realize is not that pain we know as like
right,
yeah. So it's difficult to say, it's difficult to like, it's not like okay, if I like take the fish out of the sea, it's like I put you down the sea and let you drown. It's not the same. Like drowning, it's way more painful than taking the fish out of the sea. So I just wanted to say that. But I know you're like, you are the one of the nicest people of in the world I know. So so please, the communities who are like eating meat, Manuel is a good guy. So please don't cancel him or anything.
I do not judge if you eat meat at all. Like it is a decision, and I cannot force anyone. And that's what I like to do. I like to get the information, the data, think about it, and just share it. If you don't believe in it, that's great. That's fantastic. Just share me the counter view. Share with me what studies you've seen, and I would love to have a read. Look, I even follow on Instagram people that are carnivores.
That means like they eat just meat, just raw meat.
Yes, well, they eat liver, they eat testicles, they eat
Oh
steaks, they
my
eat
goodness.
raw butter, raw milk. And I follow them on Instagram because one of these guys that is a carnivore, he actually shares the facts and the studies that essentially say, hey, eating this much meat is actually not too bad for you, or drink, or actually eating sausages, for example, is terrible for you because sausages are in the group of carcinogen number one. So essentially, eating hot dogs is as bad as smoking. Smoking essentially, it is as likely to give you cancer as simply smoking.
There's one listener who has like a hot dog and a cigar in the hand.
Well,
He
mate, it's
just
time to drop them both.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, definitely we have to consider lots of point of views, what like what is good and what is bad, like from data, from human behavior, like as you said. And diet is like, your diet maybe is not like suitable for me, you know. You
Yes.
have a different human body, as like, you know, the chemical processes, the physical, the biological processes all are different, you know, the genetic factors as well. So
Well, you can't say no until you try it.
yes, that's true, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, but
And
no, I agree. We are all built differently, and I have one of my best friends. She wants to be vegetarian, not even vegan, but she wants to be vegetarian, and she can't because she has to eat meat. It's either meat or getting like or eat or I think it's like taking two capsules of iron per day. It is something ridiculous. So
yeah,
it is not suited for everyone, and I understand, but you can. It is all about balance and limiting.
yeah. I think women are like different from men because of their like monthly menstruation. They lose like blood and they need iron, you know. That's
That's very fascinating. I never thought about that.
yeah,
Huh. Yeah, because even the iron you get from animal beef, well, from animal
yeah,
meat, is from the blood.
yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah. Huh. Fascinating.
So people have to like choose it personally, and I think maybe like you don't need like 24/7 like I have to eat meat. Maybe you reduce it like on 2 days or 3 days, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just
Definitely.
reduce the behavior, you know. Don't cut it. Yeah, Manuel, thank you very much. Like it's always a pleasure talking to you about anything, and we can do it often if you like. We can talk literally about anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for being on this podcast. And I think I recorded you and my voice. So yeah, I'm going to upload it next time. So after some editing, yeah. Is there anything you want to share with your listeners from Germany or two people who are listening to this podcast?
Well, it'll be 3 because I'll listen to the podcast now.
Thank you. The episode number 5 and 7 are in English too. There
Oh,
are two.
nice.
Yeah, sure. And they are as well from Brisbane, from Australia.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll definitely have a listen. I just want to say to my German audience, auf Wiedersehen. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's nice.
No,
Yeah.
look, like I said before, I think we live in a very interesting time, of our lives, a time where we have a lot of information, like way too much, and that also means that we have a lot of misinformation. So it's always good to gather as much as you can, and even that you might not agree with something, the other side might have something that will be a true or kind of true that can make you change your way of thinking. Not everything has to be black and white. The things that are gray, and that's okay. Just try to keep an open mind and remember to take a step back and look at the big picture, because looking at a single tree or the leaves of a tree is not as beautiful as taking a step back and look at the whole forest.
Wow, that's really nice and deep. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I really appreciate it. You are doing this second time.
I think we covered all
uh,
the same subjects as last time.
yeah, yeah. In the beginning, a little bit different, but in the end, it was like food, halal, haram, like murdering and helping animals. So we covered, I think, all topics. Yeah, cool. Do you want to do an Spanish outro with your sexy accent?
With my sexy accent. Let's see. Gracias por escuchar el podcast Héroes Humanimales, héroes locales en el planeta. Yo fui su invitado, Manuel Cabrera. I just
Oh my
said,
goodness, I
thank
have
you
to
for listening.
learn Spanish.
I just said, thank you for listening to the podcast Humanimal Heroes, Local Heroes on the Globe. I was your guest, Manuel Cabrera.
See you. Thank you very much. So take care.
Thank you.
Hey there, it's me, your podcast host from Humanimal Heroes, Local Heroes on the Globe. If you don't want to miss any episode, then hit that follow button on Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor.fm, and Amazon Music. Any interesting and inspiring story you'd like to tell people all over the world? No problem, friend. Just let me know on my Instagram or TikTok account, creative_humanimal, and be my guest. Until then, take care and see you soon. Peace out.